Hey, everybody. This is Shannon Hoskinson, and this is episode 2 of The Frustrated Social Seller. So, if you're wondering what that means, it really just means I'm here sharing about my journey and where I've been with social selling. Am I frustrated and giving up? No, I'm just opening up my story, my life, whatever, just to the lessons I've learned to hopefully encourage other social sellers in their journey, maybe offer some wisdom, maybe offer some perspective. I know for me that when I learn something, I want to share it with others because I'm so grateful someone else shared with me. So if you want to learn a little bit more about me and why I'm doing this, you can watch episode 1, but this is episode 2, if you will. And the title of it is The Scariest Question I have ever been asked in this journey. And when I tell you what the scary question is, you're going to think that's not scary. But for me, it was scary. And I'm going to tell you why. So when I joined the company I'm with in 2017. I just wanted the best price on the products. They offer this introductory price for everybody. Everybody gets a referral link. And I promptly said, no, thanks. That's not for me. I'd already been burned by another company and I was not going to tell anybody about the products. Well, they offered so much value in my life and helped me so much. I thought, how could I not tell others? So I began telling others. And as I did, I started to learn about the referral program, and it was pretty generous. And I'm a frugal mama. And I thought, well, yeah, I would definitely like to make the cost of my products back or maybe get them paid for. So I continued to share, and that quickly happened. But then the more I shared, the more I realized other people could really benefit from what the products I use were offering. And so then it became kind of an accidental business, if you will. And my friend at the time, she's still my friend, but at the time, she was looking for a way to bring in income from home. And I thought, well, I'll just figure this out and I'll teach her how to do it. And in the process of teaching her how to do it, I then ended up on my own little journey to the top of the company, like to one of the top 3 ranks. And so anyway, that's kind of how I got there. But all along the way, as I would hit these little milestones, I would get asked this really scary question. And it was, what do you want? Not that scary, right? What do you want? But to me, it was scary because I always interpreted that as, well, what should I want? Or what do you want me to want? Because I felt like, and sometimes still feel like, we are to want all of the things, right? To be at the top, to earn all the prizes and all the trips, to earn the car program or whatever. And at the time I thought, I don't know if I really want that, but it seemed like I felt like I couldn't say that. That's my own thing. It's not that anyone made me feel like I couldn't say that, but I legit felt like I couldn't because that would make me weird. Like, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want, to be at the tippity top, to have the best car of the car program offerings, to have any and all of the trips? Like, who wouldn't want that? And so I had a hard time really owning what I wanted and trusting that what I wanted was good enough. Because I'll tell you a little secret. I didn't really want any of that. I never have wanted that. Would it be nice to have? Yes. But is it something I really, really want? Not really. And some of you listening to this might be like, what is the matter with you? And that's totally fine. I have come to peace with that. But what do I want? Well, here's the thing. I come from, like, when my husband and I first got married, we started out with very, very little. Okay. We made a lot of sacrifices to be debt free, to put him through his master's program with no student debt, all on a teacher salary. Okay. We were living as a family of 4 on $35,000 a year, paying off debt. Okay. So I know what it is to live with really little. Okay. I also know what it is to want a lot, but then have to make do with little. And in that time of making do with little, I learned the value of peace and contentment in finances, in the size of my home, in the car I drove. I just learned that I was grateful for what I had. Now, I'm not saying that wanting more doesn't make you grateful. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I loved how I felt in that season of very little, because I knew nothing was in my control. I knew I had to just be as wise as I possibly could with as little as we had. And as I was wise with little, we began to be entrusted with more. Ryan completed his master's. He got a different job. He, ended up getting a raise and then bonuses. And then we were able to grow financially to where things weren't so tight, but we did not level up our lifestyle. Okay. We did not buy a newer home. We don't buy new cars. We kept our same standard of living, stay debt free, be frugal, all the things. What we did add in was vacations, right? As we started to make a little more, we added in vacations because that wasn't something that was in the budget. And, maybe added in a few other things here and there, but otherwise we still are debt free. I'm telling you all of that to give you a picture of who I am and where I come from. And so when people would ask me what I wanted, my thought was, I just want peace and contentment. I just want to be peaceful and content with where I'm at. But the reality is that that's really hard to come by in social selling because there's always a next level. And if you are an Enneagram 3 like I am, or an achiever, or someone who's competitive, that can really take a hold of you, and you can just continue to want to be the best. And there's no end, there's no cap, there's no stopping it. And it's not that that's right or wrong either. It's just that I looked at that and I found that to be exhausting. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to run that race, but I felt like I couldn't say that. I felt like to say that would make me less than, or not as valuable, or I don't really know, but I just remember feeling like I couldn't say that. And so at every turn, what do you want? I was like, well, what do you want me to want? And so it was like, well, let's just go for the next thing, which is fine and good. And I'm so grateful for what I've achieved and who I've helped and where I've been. But at the end of the day, what do I want? I want to live a life that is full of peace, that is full of gratitude, that is full of contentment with what I have. I don't want more things to manage. I don't want more for the sake of more. Do I want to give back? Yes, but not at the sake of my peace or my contentment. I want to be a homemaker. I want to be the one that cooks our meals. I want to clean my house. I want to do my laundry, not every day. But I found myself in a spot where I was starting to think maybe I need to pay somebody else. That's not right or wrong either, but that's not really what I wanted. And so I realized part of my frustration on this journey is that I was not being honest with myself about what I wanted, and being okay that what I wanted was small. I think it's small, but I was not content with small. I thought I needed to want more. And so I would try to make myself want more, even though I didn't really want more. So then now we're working from fear and a scarcity mindset, and that's not your best self. Okay. Anytime you're working from fear, scarcity, it's not your best self. You need to work from your best self. And that's something I'll talk more about later as I've learned what does it look like and what does it feel like to work from my best self and my best feeling, emotions, and what I want. But all of that to say to you, the scary question of what do you want? I've had to come to peace with that. What I want for myself is enough. It is enough. And it's okay to want what I want, whether it's big or small. And I don't have to be afraid of it. And actually working from that space of wanting peace and contentment can only help me grow more. Right? It can only help me grow more. It's not going to hold me back to not necessarily want bigger and better, because I want peace and contentment. I want to help others. But at the end of the day, I know how I want to feel while I'm doing this. And so I need to be true to myself, and I need to be okay with what I want and not be afraid to say what I want or to judge what I want as too small or not. I hope that makes sense. And I would love to hear, there's comments on this channel. Like if you relate to this in any way, whether social selling or in other areas of life, like it's so easy to get caught up in thinking, well, I should want that because other people want that. And that seems like a good thing to want. But what if you don't? Is that okay? Is it okay to want small? I think so. I think that's okay. I think you can trust yourself. I think you can trust your judgment. And I think you are a good-natured person with a sound mind, and you can want what you want, and you can stand confident and firm in that. And you don't have to compare yourself or try to be something that maybe you don't want to be, or go for something that you don't want to go for. There's something wrong with that. If judging ourselves and judging what we want would get us what we want, we would have it by now. Just saying, self-judgment is never the way to get what you want. So I hope if you are listening to this and you have felt like that's a scary question too, like, oh no, I don't know what I want, and maybe what I want isn't enough, or maybe it's too small or whatever, like, just step back and be okay with what you want, and work from that self-centered piece of, who am I? How do I want to work this? What am I going for? And what I want is good enough, right? It's good enough. So I hope that's helpful. Next time I come on here, we'll talk about, best self versus false self, if you want, and kind of some things I learned, like what I was operating from that kind of made me pretty tired and burnout, versus where I can operate from that helps me not feel tired and burnout. So if you have watched, thank you so much for listening in on this journey. I'm excited to really get into this and continue to share little tips and nuggets I've learned along the way. So thanks for listening.